Oops, wrong way. Yo, Gavin, what are you saying, buddy?
In the spring of 2023, police in Hudson, Ohio were dispatched to the home of a 41-year-old father who had failed to collect his daughter from school.
It's a long driveway. Imagine shoveling this.
Officers performing the welfare check made a gruesome discovery.
One's in radio. Come on. Go run back. Get EMS out here.
Dr. Todd Morgan was a well-liked and respected professor at the University of Cleveland. He was also a doting and loving father of two. But under his professional facade, the professor was hiding more scandalous behaviors. And his secrets were tragically about to come to light. Hi there, I'm Kevin, and welcome to Just Thought Lounge. Today's case is the story of an investigation that began to unravel over the first few hours on scene. A shocking discovery, a handful of strange clues, and then the one piece of evidence that opened the floodgates and helped police to piece it all together. Let's take a look. Hudson is a city in the north of Summit County, Ohio. Located between Cleveland and Akron, it is known as an affluent suburban community, populated by large colonial-style houses on spacious plots of land, as well as tree-lined streets. On the afternoon of Wednesday, April 19, 2023, Hudson police were contacted to perform a welfare check on a local resident, 41-year-old Dr. Todd Morgan. Todd, a professor of business and finance at the University of Cleveland, was a father to two children, a son 10 years old with his ex-wife Therese, and a daughter nearly 5 years old with ex-girlfriend Mary. That Wednesday, Todd was meant to collect his daughter from school, but he didn't show up. Mary placed the call to police.
Hi, I was wondering if I'd be able to request a wellness check on someone.
Okay, what's going on?
So my daughter was supposed to be picked up by her father today, and I got a call from the school that she was still at the school, so I ended up picking her up. They tried to contact him. I tried to call him a couple times and haven't received anything back.
And what's his name?
Todd Morgan.
Has he ever done anything like this?
No, I don't think he would forget his daughter from school, but we are going through some custody issues right now, which is why I find it to be a little bit more unusual.
When you call him, does it go straight to voicemail or does it ring?
It rings.
At just before 7 p.m. that evening, officers Preggy and Bowen arrived at the professor's house on West Streetsboro Street.
Professor Peggy. I'd hate for that to be my name.
Orange, black, and colored to Todd Morgan from that address. Valid native, has a DPW.
Is he in the floor? Oh, shoot. You said you see blood? One's in radio. Come on. Go run back. Get EMS out here.
They don't even have their guns drawn.
Oh boy. There's a lot of blood. Party looks to be, I might have fell. Crap. Oh, hold on.
They just
Just
disturbed your
inside the
crime
back
scene. No gloves, no nothing opening that door. It's crazy.
door, the officers found Todd Morgan on the floor. He was wearing only his dressing gown and appeared to have suffered significant trauma to his head. The officer's first impression, based on the location of the visible wound on his temple, was that Todd had taken his own life. However, despite shell casings nearby, no gun was visible. Perhaps they thought it was underneath him. Officers did a thorough sweep through the house to see if there was anyone else inside.
I don't see a weapon. That's why I'm thinking something else.
At the base of the stairs leading to the second floor bedrooms, they identified another casing. It was the same caliber as those visible near to Todd by the back door.
There's a bullet casing here, which that's weird. Why is there a bullet casing here?
In one of the children's bedrooms, they found a piggy
That
bank
chick is
knocked over
so
on-
fucking retarded. She goes, "Do you think he made it all the way over here?" Like, lady, one, you're not going to be running around once you shoot yourself in the fucking head. You're going to be laying there in agony, holding your head or whatever. Two, like, why would there be more than one fucking shell casing? Like, what? Dumb bitch.
to the floor.
You found money?
Change. Piggy bank knocked over.
Nothing more appeared to be disturbed in this room.
Well, if it was a robbery, the house would be more ransacked, right?
Okay,
Guess that one you're in now.
These cops are
In
terrible.
the master bedroom, they found a messy scene. The bed was in disarray. Bottles of alcohol and other drinks sat out, and open condom packages were scattered on the floor.
A weapon of any kind. That's weird. Why is there... This makes me think someone shot him. We're gonna have to call the detectives out. Hey, Sarge, you wanna... Are we... Say, it's pretty bad in there.
Yeah, there's shell casings in the house all over, but
Okay.
there's no weapon.
Keep the. Okay.
He's been sitting there for a while. That blood's dried up.
Okay.
I don't. Can you tell me what?
What's that?
It looks weird.
While Hudson police tried to piece together what had transpired inside the house, one
Like, sometimes you should be able just to know
unfortunate fact
instinctively.
was certain. The father of two had passed away. The news would come as a devastating blow to family and friends. At the age of 41, Todd had accomplished a lot in life. He received his bachelor's degree from Cleveland University in 2005, his master's degree 1 year later, and then went on to earn his PhD from Kent State University in 2015. He held positions as an assistant professor in Massachusetts and Michigan before returning to his alma mater, Cleveland State, just 2 years before his death. But Todd's greatest accomplishment and his joy in life were his two children. He has unfailingly been described as a dedicated and loving father. Many knew Todd primarily as a well-liked, intellectual, and serious person, though with his kids, he was always having fun. He loved goofing around with them, playing video games, having dance-offs, playing at the park, and taking them on trips. On the day he was found, his daughter waited patiently for him to collect her from her school, certain that he would be there, as he always was. After all of the other children had gone home, it was her mother that arrived instead. Mary was uncertain of what to tell a little girl.
Caleb,
whose
I'm
father
doing all
had
right,
been
buddy.
such a
What you been up to, my man? How's life? I see you still doing some drawings and stuff. Good man, good man.
big part of her world. Of course, at that time, they also did not have any answers. Back at the scene, detectives were called out to launch an investigation.
So there's a male deceased at the back door. Looks like the back door looks like it was kicked from the inside. I have not gone inside the house. So he's laying on his back.
Watching One Piece, isn't that super long? Like, isn't that a super long anime? Like 1,000+ episodes or something?
With a gunshot wound to the head at the back door, and it looks like the door was forced out, as in out to the door. So I'd like for somebody to come out and take a look. There's shell casings all over the place, and just to figure out exactly what's going on.
Todd's autopsy concluded that he was shot 7 times. Based on the
7?
stifling to his skin, one of these shots was determined to have been within close range. 2 of the 7 shots were in his left clavicle area,
Ooh.
which the medical examiner speculated would have been fatal within
Oh, yeah.
minutes. All had been delivered from the same weapon, a 9mm handgun. The back door next to where Todd was found appeared broken. A piece of the door frame
Holy shit, dude. Episode 1112? Holy fuck. How long is each episode? Like 30 minutes or something? 40 minutes? Holy.
near to the lock was missing, as though the door had been forced open from the inside. A piece of the lock was spotted on the deck a few feet from the doorway. In addition to spatter on the inside of the door, police noticed footprints tracked out from the house onto the deck.
Like 24. That's insane! That's
These
insane.
appeared to lead down the steps towards the drive, where Todd's Porsche SUV was parked. Whoever had tracked the blood onto the deck likely had their own vehicle to leave the scene, unless one of the responders had left the footprints.
Let me double check Sean's tread.
Unless when Sean walked back out today, but we both can help you walk.
All right, Lee, just for good measure, bottom of your feet. All right, definitely. Can I see your tread on your shoes? Yeah, definitely not you. Okay. There's footprints all over in the blood, and it looks like boots. So.
I don't think it's Cassie's there because her tread's.
Yeah, nobody. It matches nobody's.
Can I see the bottom of your boot real quick, just to see? No. Maybe. Can I see the bottom of your shoe? Please.
I try to tippy-toe around.
We just have this.
Officers established that no one on scene could have left the footprints.
What have I been up
They
to? Well, I got a
continued to
full-time
theorize
job.
whether they might also have caused.
And I've just been a slave to the man, you know? I've just been a slave to the man. I kind of gave up on the whole YouTube thing, you know what I mean? So I just stream for fun now and do whatever the fuck I want, really. Yeah.
the damage to the doorframe.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, the piece of this door would be out here somewhere. Oh wait, there it is. It's all the way over here.
Oh, okay, then that definitely wasn't us. Because he did not hit it. He did not pull it that hard.
You would have seen that fly all the way over here, right?
Yeah.
That paramedic never stepped over there.
Did you go back in construction? I did for a little bit, buddy, but they were fucking me around so hard. I would show up to work in the morning, and then they'd be like, "Oh, fuck, you don't have any clothes to go to town for the week?" And I'd be like, "Well, no one actually told me I was supposed to be going out of town for the week." And like they did that to me like so many times, and I just got fed up with it, and I just said, "Fuck it." So now I'm working in a factory making like plastic pieces for like ease troughs, and yeah, it's pretty boring shit. It's pretty boring, buddy. I'm not gonna lie, most of the time on my 8-hour shift, I'm just standing there like daydreaming, you know? I'm just standing there fucking daydreaming, thinking about going home. Sometimes I'll be sitting there like looking at my clock. They're like, fuck, it's only 6 o'clock. It feels like I've been here for 10 hours. You know? Or like, not 10 hours, but you know what I mean. You're gonna be 21 soon? Dude, that's crazy. Time flies, eh? You're gonna be 21 soon. Holy. So when you came into my stream, you were just like, what, 16 or something? You're just a young buck, were you?
Inside the house, multiple laptops and tablets were found sitting in plain view, which appeared to counter speculation that Todd had been the victim of a robbery. In addition, his pricey vehicle remained in the driveway. Eventually, Todd's wallet and keys were also located. There was no cash in his wallet, though family said he rarely carried any. Todd's cell phone, however, was missing. Eventually, a total of 8 shell casings were located. Firearms were found in the house. A 9mm handgun, not loaded, was found buried underneath clothing in a closet. Near to it was a shotgun, also not loaded. A second 9mm handgun with a round in the chamber and 4 more in the magazine was found under a Spider-Man mask on the shelf of the nightstand in the master bedroom. Every gun located in the house was registered to Todd. None were a match to the weapon that killed him. Officers turned their attention to the neighbors, seeking a witness who may have spotted strange activity, perhaps an unknown vehicle parked at Todd's house the prior day. Linda, from down the street, told officers that her daughter babysat for Todd once or twice, roughly a year earlier. In Linda's opinion, Todd was an odd guy. She thought it was suspicious that he drove a nice car,
It
worked
wasn't
from
17?
home,
No, right?
and
It
had
was
the
like 5
money
years
to
ago,
fully
4 years ago,
renovate
something like
his
that.
large house.
I always said there's something off about him. Like, I get really feelings about people when I meet people. And I always said, I don't think there seems to be something strange about him, but I couldn't put my finger on it.
Has he ever mentioned anything odd to you before? Like strange, ever saying anything strange to you?
He
Just
seems
seems odd.
weird. He said he worked from home. What the fuck does he do? He drives a Porsche.
That could be some kind of computer on work at home job. I mean, that's pretty common nowadays.
He fixing up the house the whole time. Where does this guy get his money from? I don't know. Like, what does he do? And he says, oh, he needs to run errands and go to the gym, and so he wants my daughter to babysit. Where's he going?
You ever noticed any depression or anything like that?
He just seems off.
Just seems off.
He seems like fucking off, like fucking weird. Like, I don't know. I get a very off feeling about him.
What's your name, ma'am?
My name's Linda.
It's a great way for her just
At
to
the
put
house
herself
next
into
door,
the
retired
investigation. Like, what a
grandfather
nosy
Brian
bitch.
spent most days at home, but he did not see or hear anything either.
I'll hang out here and go see if mom and dad are home, or whatever.
Hi. Hi, are your parents home?
My grandpa's in the house.
Your grandpa's in the house. Can I speak to him real quick?
Yeah.
Thank you. Have you seen anyone at the house or hear anything?
Seen anything, and I'm retired. Recently retired. I'm here all the time.
You're here. You haven't heard anything.
Haven't
seen
heard
anything.
a peep.
Okay. All right.
Is everything all right?
Yeah, we're just.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Todd Morgan. I hope he's okay. He seems like a nice guy. I mean, he's been here a year and a half.
Year and a half.
Kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go play Destiny
Married
2 with
couple
my
Eugene
boys. I'll
and
talk to you
Sherry
later
were
if you're not
keen
streaming
to
when I
speak
get
with
back. Have a
police.
good night, sir.
Both
Yo, Caleb,
recalled
it's good
hearing
hearing
what
from you,
could have
buddy.
been
You stay
gunshots
safe
ring
out
out
there,
from
man.
the direction of Todd's
God
property
bless you.
at around 7:20 a.m. that morning. Of course, at that time, they attributed the sound to a car backfiring, or perhaps other traffic noise emanating from across the back of the property. Over the previous year, Todd had also undertaken extensive renovations on the house. Perhaps it was the sound of further work being done. Eugene and Sherry had also spotted
Always,
a car
brother,
in
always.
Todd's driveway, one they had never seen before.
I saw somebody come out of the house to the car that was next to the Porsche. They were in the car. I mean, it was there.
The Porsche?
No, it was next to the Porsche.
Okay.
And it was there when I woke up this morning at 5 o'clock. As I walked.
The car was already there.
The car was already there. The
At
person was due. When I woke up.
Okay.
But at 7:15, 7:20, I heard.
What's up, Sean?
And then I saw someone come out of the house, go to the car, open up the car, was there for a while, and then took something back into the house, like a package or a box, it looked like.
Okay.
And then came back out, not running, but walking fast.
Quick paced?
Yes.
At what time was that?
It had to be 7:20.
At 7:20.
Yeah, that it all happened within a couple
That
of
was
minutes.
when you heard the
two shots. I'm assuming. I don't know. And then I thought someone was banging on something, and then a little pause, and then 3 more, 4 more.
Okay. Can you describe that car?
It was a smaller car, light colored, maybe a light blue, light gray. I couldn't get the make of it.
Do you happen to have cameras?
I checked my ring.
You didn't pick it up?
It didn't pick it. It didn't pick it up.
Okay.
It was it
Cheers,
a
Johnny.
4-door or 2-door?
I couldn't tell.
Did you see the person that was driving?
No, I didn't. I mean, no, I did not.
Okay.
I did not see the person.
Okay.
My wife thinks there was long hair.
We were in different places, so I was finishing my
Come on,
Sherry saw the individual who left in the unknown vehicle. She provided a rough description.
So then I saw somebody come out of the house with long hair to the shoulders. I couldn't even tell you if it was male or female, to be honest with you. It looked like a smaller frame, not a big person. Got into a little car.
Probably a whore that robbed them.
The car was champagne colored. He said it was bluish. So there you go for our perspective of what it was. There are cars. Todd, from what I know, he's only been here less than a year. He has 2 children from different mothers. They're coming and going all the time, dropping kids off.
Oh, sure.
And there's always like a Jeep there from somebody he knows. And I don't know if it's one of the mothers or not, but it's a newer Jeep. Okay. This was a car that I'd never seen.
You'd never seen that car?
No. And that person came out, like Gene said, grabbed something from the car. I thought it was more like a package. He thought it was like a box. Again, we weren't putting anything in perspective. It's just what we walked as passing by. And then the person took something back into the house and then came back out and then just drove away. And Gene even commented like, well, there couldn't have been anything. They're not in a rush. So.
Shortly after speaking with officers, Eugene further scrutinized what was captured on his Ring doorbell camera. He found that the vehicle he and Sherry had spotted that morning was just barely discernible in the footage.
Like 10 to 7, the car is there? Okay.
I don't know how to work this thing.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay, so that's the car.
Yeah. I don't know if you're going to be able to see anything from that or whatever.
Okay. I'll give this back to you. I'll go tell.
Okay, I'm not sure how to.
Yeah.
And then it jumps to 7:30 and it's gone.
And it's gone.
Yeah.
What time is that? Right.
6:50.
50.
Yeah.
Okay, and then 7, it's gone.
Yeah. Well, the next spot on here is
7:30.
so there's a gap.
Okay.
And then it's gone at 7:30.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
A still photo sent by Eugene showed a light-colored crossover-style vehicle parked next to Todd's Porsche at 7 a.m. By 7:30, it was gone. Although law enforcement had yet to move Todd and verify there was no weapon beneath him, it had become clear that the professor had been the victim of a murder. And thanks to the neighbors, details of a main suspect were emerging.
They literally just left that guy there for like 12 hours
Todd's
decomposing and shit? That's crazy.
Mary, with whom he shared his daughter, was notified by the Hudson PD. Investigators were keen to learn about any romantic attachments
Look at that car
the
there.
professor had.
You see that
and
car?
any relationship tension.
That car kind of looked like the other one.
In particular.
Todd, we found Todd dead today. So,
And any explanation?
we're still in ongoing investigation. We have the detectives looking into it right now.
This chick doesn't even sound surprised.
As we find out more, we can, obviously let you guys know.
They had learned that the professor's first marriage had ended following an affair he had carried on with a student. That relationship had then also subsequently ended. It seems that the professor was also struggling with his alcohol use. Mary explained that his sobriety was tracked through a breathalyzer test connected to an app which updated her on the results throughout the week. Todd last performed the test the day before.
So he's required to do an iSober device.
What's that?
It's to, he'll breathe into it and it reads whether he's had a drink or not.
For the vehicle?
Just any.
Oh, wow, anything at all, okay.
And the last report I got was from yesterday at 7 o'clock in the morning.
You get reports from
Yeah,
that?
it emails
No
the
kidding.
results.
So you got a result for that test yesterday?
Yes, I can pull it up.
Does it give numbers? Or
Get
just
your
say
fishing
if
license?
it's
Yeah, that's what's up.
positive
I
or
just did my boating license today.
Numbers.
Okay.
What's this test called again?
I just did my boating license today. It took fucking all day, but I got her.
Asked if there was any conflict in his life that she knew of, Mary could only point to some tensions with a new boyfriend of Todd's ex-wife. She was not certain of anyone that he was currently dating.
I also have my fishing license for 1 more year, and then I gotta renew it.
Well over a year ago, his ex was dating someone that he said felt threatened by her and him ever having to exchange anything in person.
Okay.
So they would meet.
They would meet at like a police department or a common area.
It's his girlfriend's.
His ex-wife's boyfriend.
His other ex-wife's.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
January, and at that time he said he was dating someone.
Okay. But you did confirm or deny that? You don't know at all?
I don't know.
As officers worked to piece together a timeline and details of Todd's life, they learned one crucial piece of information. A 911 call had been placed from a cell phone originating at Todd Morgan's address at 7:21 a.m. on April 19th. If the time given by the neighbors of when the shots rang out was correct, this 911 call must have been placed within moments of the murder. Hudson Dispatch answered this call and found no one on the other end of the line. This was not uncommon, they said. An SOS call will be activated from an iPhone if the power button is pressed 5 times consecutively. It can happen when a phone is placed in the cup holder of a car, for example. The call placed at the time of Todd's murder was speculated to be one of these accidental dials. And it likely was placed in error by the potential killer, thought investigators. When the cell phone's owner was traced, it returned the name of an Akron woman, Tariana Siobhan Denise Peschel. She had a slim build, long dark hair, and drove a silver crossover. Tariana's connection to Todd Morgan remained unclear. Nonetheless, she matched the description provided by the witness.
Guarantee you, this chick's a whore, and he was fucking some whore, and then she just robbed him.
And her accidental call to 911 placed her at the scene. Officers were immediately dispatched to Tariana's address. When they arrived, they encountered the homeowner, who told them Tariana did not live there. He refused to grant access to the house to verify.
How are we doing? Was she in trouble? Well, we need to talk to her. Oh, okay. I definitely let her know. You tell her to call the Hudson Police Department? Hudson Police Department, Hudson, Ohio. Okay, I sure will.
What friend she's staying with?
I don't know, man. It's some friend. I mean, she's a friend. You know, look like a little girlfriend. You know, she's a young girl. I'm an older man, and you know, I'm just getting my grandkids upstairs in the bed. Y'all think y'all gonna just walk through my dog house? Hell no. Ain't no Terriana in here.
Apparently he's saying that she's with one of her girlfriends in Garden Valley.
Yeah, how far is that from here?
It's not far.
Oh, we could follow you over there. Is that an apartment complex?
Hudson detectives were unable to track down Tariana that night. They sought a search warrant for her phone data and began to track her movements, hoping to determine where she was living and where she had been before and after the shots rang out from Todd Morgan's home. The data revealed that just 6 minutes after the accidental 911 call was placed, her phone was traveling at roughly 60 miles per hour near the Interstate 271 split in Macedonia. Todd Morgan's cell phone followed the exact same path.
What kind of fish you gonna be going
His
for,
phone
shiny boy?
then ceased moving along the highway. Multiple searches were performed to locate it, but it was never recovered. Detectives tracked Tariana to her sister's home at the Envision apartment complex. Her silver Ford Taurus X with a missing back plate was in the parking lot. She was picked up and brought in for questioning.
Cat and carp, y'all love me some cats.
By the time Tariana was arrested, the case against her had snowballed. What started with a single connection, that 911 call, had led to an avalanche of evidence. A 9mm cartridge collected at the scene had matched to a firearm associated with an unsolved homicide from Cleveland in 2021. In that case, the main suspect was the ex-girlfriend of the victim, as well as the registered gun owner, Tariana Peschel. She had been into the station for further questions relating to that case only days before Todd's murder. At that time, she had pointed the finger at another ex-boyfriend. Despite near certainty that she was the shooter in that case, there had never been enough evidence to bring charges. That did not seem to be a problem this time. In addition to the phone data placing her at the scene at the exact time of the murder, the ring footage captured a vehicle that resembled her Ford Taurus parked by the back door. Her gun was the murder weapon. Investigators determined that the shoe prints on the deck were from a particular Nike sneaker. They found Facebook photos of Tariana wearing these exact shoes only months before. They captured surveillance of her silver Taurus driving from the area that morning. Just days following, Tariana had switched devices and phone numbers. Law enforcement were able to trace that change and continued to monitor her usage. On April 22nd, she performed a search for "Can police track my phone even if I remove the SIM?"
Yeah, man, we
followed
usually go
by
bass fishing
accessing
up north.
multiple articles about Todd Morgan, including one titled "Hudson Murder Victim Identified as Cleveland State University Professor." She performed searches for her name in connection to the crime 41 times in the weeks following. Finally, her DNA was identified on a Black & Mild cigar found inside the house, as well as on the condoms.
She's a whore, and she's robbed him. Called it.
I'll be back here in about 5 minutes, okay? Okay, you need anything? Are you okay? Okay, I'll be right back. Okay.
When Tariana sat down with detectives, she began by denying that she knew Todd Morgan. She did not think she had ever been to Hudson either.
You ever been to Hudson before? I think so. I don't recall.
12 years ago. That was 12 years ago, bro. I was just 15 years old. Fuck, man. I hate my life. Them stripes? Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I didn't read that. Yeah, striped bass for sure. There's like lots of rock bass in that lake we go fishing too. The fucking cocksuckers are annoying. Yeah, that's actually sick, Sean.
How come pro players love Storm Point and E-District, but they hate Olympus and Broken Moon? Well, there's a lot of things, but I think the main one is that Olympus and Broken Moon just have so much no man's land where you just kind of lose. On those maps, you usually know who's going to win a fight before it even starts, whereas Storm Point and E-District, you have a lot of options. Pro someone...
What about around April 18th? Go to a lot of places. Okay. But you can't recall being in Hudson? No. Okay. So your phone, why would it dial 911 on April 19th? In the morning, at April 19th, around 7:22 in the morning. My phone? Yeah. I don't know. Okay. I don't know why my phone would call. I didn't call nobody. You didn't call 911? No, I did not. Okay. I don't know. Did they say I called? I didn't call. Yeah, we get your phone number. And we attempted to call back that morning. We could get an answer. So here's what's interesting about these two photos. Right? Okay, these two photos were actually on your phone. On my phone? Mm-hmm. Well, they weren't on my phone. You actually typed in a search for this guy, and you viewed this image on your phone. You also did a search for 320 West Streetsville Street, and you viewed this image on your phone. Barry, I would give you an opportunity here to talk to us. We need to know what happened. Okay, and I'm telling you, I don't know what's going on. Well, what do you have? I don't know what's going on. Who's that?
Tariana was presented with her own phone data, location, searches, calls, and her messaging history. It seems she and Todd had connected through Bumble. Their conversation was then taken off the app and continued via text message.
We got a lot of information. We have DNA evidence, we have video, we have phone calls, we have Bumble chat messages. Okay, we have shell casings, we have shoe prints. We've got a lot of stuff that is a lot of good evidence here. Okay, this is your opportunity to talk to us about it. Okay. I really don't know what you want me to say. I want to know what happened. We want to know what happened. We have a lot of questions. I want to know what happened.
Tariana's messaging history contained multiple exchanges involving the solicitation of prostitution. She wrote that she only does out calls, which meant she would travel to other locations. Her messages provided price lists to potential clients. The day he was killed, Todd sent a $50 payment to Tariana via Cash App. According to her, people send money to her Cash App all the time. Who was to say what that was for? Despite searches on her device for his name, address, and articles about his murder, she did not even remember a Todd Morgan.
So, Todd Morgan sent you $50 in the morning of April 19th. Okay. I don't. Okay, but he did. So, what I want to ask you is, there was another payment. About 23 minutes later, there was a $1,000 payment that was sent from Todd Morgan to Black Beauty. And you confirm that Black Beauty, this Cash App is you. That's you, obviously, in that picture. So he sent you $1,000. Now, we go back to a $50 payment. You say, guys send you random $50 every now and then. Okay, you guys send you random $1,000 payments? No. Okay, so it can happen. It could happen. It could happen.
The second $1,000 transfer never went through. This larger amount required a follow-up authentication via a notification that Todd's phone received just before 7:30 a.m. He never verified the transfer.
Okay, so the morning of April 19th, here's what we have. We have this Cash App payment, right? I went through for $50. We have another Cash App payment that was 23 minutes later for $1,000. We have this vehicle leaving Todd Morgan's house at around 7:23 in the morning on April 19th. You said that's your car. Mm-hmm. Have your phone at 328 West Streetsboro Street on April 19th at 7 in the morning. Actually have your phone at that address after midnight on April 19th, which looks like it was there overnight. It's not possible. Your DNA is inside of that house. Black and Miles are inside of that house. There are shoe-prints that are inside of the house that match shoes that you're wearing in Facebook photos.
Tariana never conceded to detectives that she was at Todd Morgan's house that day. Of course, she did not have to. Initially, Tariana Peschel pleaded not guilty to the murder and prepared for trial. However, the day the trial was scheduled to commence, a plea deal was reached with the state. She would admit guilt in exchange for 20 years to life in prison for the murder and another 3 years on a gun charge. Parole eligibility would begin after 23 years served. It would save Todd's family the trauma of a trial and potentially grant her a shorter sentence. In September 2024, the family was given the opportunity to give impact statements to the court. Mary spoke of the loss to their daughter, who had adored her father.
Since his murder, my daughter's life has been irrevocably altered. At just 6 years old, she is at one of the most impressionable stages of her life. She was only 4 when she waited at school for her dad to pick her up, not understanding why he never came. When I arrived, she was confused and desperately wanted to call him, but each call went unanswered. I had to explain to her that her daddy wouldn't be coming back because someone had hurt him. I watched her curl up in my arms, hiding her face as she processed this unimaginable loss.
Todd's mother, Sandy, told the court that her son had been struggling. Only a few weeks before his death, he had told her that he was broken. He had been trying to better himself in health and mind by exercising, meditating, and staying healthy. But also, Todd told his mother that he knew his salvation was with God. It seems that just before he died, Todd experienced a setback. This misstep indirectly led to his murder.
I'm Todd's mom. I always will be. Todd's not here to tell his story. Only God, Todd, and you know the truth of what happened on April 19. All I know, he was brutally murdered by you, and he basically died for nothing. You didn't even know him. Your actions to take my son's life changed my life forever. It's changed all of our lives. Even more so, you took a father from two beautiful children. They were his world, and he was theirs.
Tariana spoke only briefly before receiving her agreed-upon sentence.
Yes, to his family, I'm very sorry, and I hope that one
Fucking smiling, bro. It's diabolical. What a bitch.
day that you can find it in your hearts to forgive me. That's it.
I'm sentencing you to a period of 20 years to life on count 1, aggravated murder and unclassified felony. In addition, that sentence will run consecutive to the 3-year firearm specification, which is attached to that count 1. That firearm specification 3-year sentence must be served first, it must be consecutive, and it is in fact mandatory. This will make you eligible for parole, which there's no guarantee of that, at the earliest at 23 years, but you could serve up to life in prison for this matter. Do you understand all of that, Ms. Paschal?
Yes, Your Honor. I love you. I love you too. And you always got love this way. And don't ever let them tell you you don't. You hear me, Liz? Don't ever let them tell you
You came back with 22 new clients.
24.
24.
Whatever happened to showmanship?
He specifically asked for you.
Each week we break down another Better Call Saul episode in order. This week a lot of new events are set into motion, and I've got 40 details you might not know in Season 2, Episode 3.
Amarillo.
So it's fitting that we start in Amarillo, Texas. As chyrons are never used outside of the first 2 episodes of Breaking Bad, the show always looks for other ways to convey the location. The original idea had the mural saying "Don't mess with Texas," but they went with something a bit more subtle. As is almost always the case, this really is still Albuquerque, right across the street from the Zia Motor Lodge sign we saw in Breaking Bad. The show painted this, then aged it. Vince requested that they age the red paint more than the blue because he noticed that red on signs tends to fade quicker, and he's right. There's science behind blue reflecting destructive short wavelength light versus red absorbing it.
Yes, science!
Speaking of red, Jimmy's chosen to stand on the side of criminality based on Better Call Saul color theory. Apparently when he told Kim she won't hear about his shenanigans,
I cannot hear about this sort of thing. You won't.
It just meant he won't tell her about them. Also, that opening shot is 2 different shots that they subtly fade between. Having the mural this big was inspired by the opening shot of the movie Patton. The building owners liked the mural and left it up as a tourist attraction. It was vandalized about a year and a half later, and sadly the wall is plain these days. Jimmy's gone full cowboy, even with a bolo tie with a slide that's an armadillo, the state animal of Texas.
Sorry about the hiccup, folks. It won't be long.
This Ford F-550 bus is from the future because its body style was not introduced for another decade. There are the inevitable crew reflections in the headlight.
You got 5 minutes.
It looks like he's giving him a single $20 bill, although I suppose there could be 2 in there. This was much clearer than the exchange in Hero, which many people missed. If we zoom in, we can see a more specific and more subtle visual that establishes where we are.
Howdy, folks. Can someone tell me if Mrs. Alma Mae Urbano is on board? I tried to visit you at Sandpiper, but they wouldn't allow me to. Don't mind me.
Just pretend I'm not here.
Do you recall responding to a mailer from my law firm?
Was it yellow?
It's canary yellow.
The writer threw in this detail because the episode's title means yellow in Spanish.
Who took Alma Mae's money? It's not like the Sandpiper people, put on a ski mask and mugged Alma Mae here at gunpoint. So I want you to put that mental image right out of your head.
Jimmy knows that's not how that works.
Let's say you're out on a date with your boyfriend. You do have a boyfriend, right? You don't? Do you have a nephew?
Yes, Steve.
You and Steve go out to dinner. Here comes the check. Hey, wait a doggone $24 for a side of buttermilk biscuits? You send your nephew Steve to talk to the manager, and naturally, the manager corrects the mistake. Same kind of thing as what happened at Sandpiper Crossing.
During one of Bob's long speeches, one of the senior citizens got a phone call.
And Bob just very kindly said, "Dear, do you mind if I just finish the speech before you take that phone call? Thank you so much."
I know that the good people at Sandpiper want to make this right. It's just easier if you get your nephew Steve to go take care of it for you. Thank you. You did it. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right.
This is really the Copper Canyon Cafe in Albuquerque, and that looks like the 2014 Visa logo because it should still have the bars in 2002.
How about we move on to client outreach? I'm going to save you from having to brag. Over 200 new Sandpiper clients signed over the past 3 weeks. Well done, Jimmy. On to a stickier wicket, coordinating actions.
Sorry, before we move on, really a Astonishing results, Jimmy. Incredible.
It's hidden, but I think that counts.
Your last trip to Amarillo, you came back with 22 new clients.
24.
24.
He's being such an asshole.
Might not some parties, the opposing counsel, for example, see this differential and conclude that there may have been some solicitation involved?
I did not solicit.
I'm just wondering how you account for your success.
This is the first episode Jonathan has ever written in the Breaking Bad universe. And this is the only Better Call Saul episode Scott Weinand will direct, although for Breaking Bad, he directed Greenlight and Crawl Space. So brace yourself for an all-time dramatic ending for this episode.
Chuck, I'm sure that
Wow, I do not advise trying that move on people.
if you could clear this up, that would be helpful.
These are close-knit communities. Dorothy in Phase 2 gets a new Rascal scooter. It's big news.
My guess is Phase 2 is the second part built in whichever Sandpiper location Dorothy lives.
So these other 23 residents, they approached you.
I certainly didn't have to go knocking on any doors.
That's true.
Is it any surprise that they want to speak with a guy who is there to show them they may have money coming their way?
Makes sense. Howard?
Chuck?
Clifford,
Howard?
Chuck?
Ernesto,
Jimmy. Nacho. James. Kim. Chuck.
It is absolutely vital that we dot our I's and cross our T's. Thank you.
the price of excellence is eternal vigilance.
Indeed.
Coordination. I believe that's where we left off.
Brian, this is your thing, so why don't you take this?
Sure. It makes sense to designate someone to handle the scheduling.
She's not buying what Jimmy's selling. Chuck is once again right, although Jimmy manages to convince everyone except the two people who know him best.
Excuse me for interrupting. I take Chuck's point. I do. This is like a wife of Caesar type thing. There can't even be a hint of solicitation.
Julius Caesar supposedly said Caesar's wife must be above suspicion when asked why he divorced his second wife, Pompeia.
I'll find another way to proceed.
Well, Jimmy, we'll leave that up to you. Client outreach is your department.
Or was I? Okay, right.
Man, do you believe Chuck in there? When we were building this case, I was chasing down 80-year-old mall walkers. But did he say boo? Bullshit, he did.
Jimmy's right.
I signed up 3 more clients at the mall today. Jesus, those mall walkers, geezers are faster than you think.
What happened in Texas? You didn't do a song and dance in the day room?
No, not in the day room.
So he can't bring himself to outright lie to Kim here.
Solicitation can get you disbarred. This matters.
24 senior citizens now have representation. Before I went, they didn't even know they were getting ripped off.
You said in there you'd find another way. Did you mean it?
Sure.
I put myself on the line to get you this job.
So what, you threw me a bone?
No. Asshole. Everything you do reflects back on me. With Howard, because ultimately I talked him into going out on a limb for you too. It's my word. It's my judgment.
Do not make a fool out of me.
You and I both know you can do this job, but please, you just have to do it right.
I think you're good to go, young lady.
We've got a new Kaylee from last season.
He's funny.
And he's a Breaking Bad character. Somehow he's still in great condition and Kaylee's still playing with him 7 years later. Mike used him to get the jump on Chris. I've never heard this line before some of you pointed it out, but the pig actually has a name. This toy seems to have been produced under different brands and different names, and one of them is Bacon the Pig. And shockingly, Kaylee and Stacy aren't the only Ehrmantrauts recast in Better Call Saul. In Breaking Bad, Mr. Snuggles had a moving mouth, but in Better Call Saul, he does not. By the way, that thing that looks like a third eye is its button. I just snagged this one from eBay, so I'll let you know if there are any more pig revelations.
Something up?
I don't want you to worry.
Not the worrying kind.
Last 2 nights I heard gunshots. Pop, pop, pop.
Just pop, pop, pop.
Pop, pop, pop.
Just pop, pop, pop.
Pop, 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 pop.
Just boom, boom, boom. I'm staying here tonight.
No, Mike, no. Please don't make me sorry. I told you.
What about Colorado Springs?
283 residents?
How many response cards came back?
0.
Wow. How can that be?
Thinking it's the staff. They're tossing the mailers before they can reach the residents.
Guess you better think of another way.
TV commercial. At Sandpiper, the trains run on time. Mussolini would be proud. They always leave 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. free. Why? Murder, She Wrote.
A lot of Breaking Bad universe actors have appeared in Murder, She Wrote, such as Michael McKean, Patrick Fabian, Bryan Cranston, Raymond Cruz, Dennis Boutsikaris, and Miriam Colon.
Guaranteed eyeballs.
My mom loves that show.
We ran a commercial a few years back, another class action case. It's not exactly my go-to, but generally speaking, I'm open to it. We will talk next week.
Great. Safe travels.
Editor Kelly Dixon added the Julian to surprise the writer, as that's his son's name.
If you or a family member have been diagnosed with mesothelioma or related conditions, you may be entitled to monetary damages. Mesothelioma is a rare lung disease, usually associated with exposure to asbestos.
The voice here is the renowned Robert Clotworthy, known for his portrayal of Jim Raynor in StarCraft.
If the Zerg wipe everyone out, it's all been for nothing.
No shit.
To get that just right.
To get what just right?
The swirl. They wanted it kind of nebulous, but not too
nebulous. Then there was the issue of the speed. I remember there were a lot of meetings about that.
I'll bet. Consultation. Call Davis and Maine.
And at this point, it shouldn't surprise you, but this was a callable phone number. You used to get Davis and Maine voicemail, but unfortunately, it doesn't work anymore.
Cliff signed off on this. The partners were very happy.
Whatever happened to showmanship?
Yo, check it out.
Two ass clowns act like the professionals your parents are paying for you to become.
What is it?
The Alpine Shepherd boy. It's for her nephew. Production meeting, bring it in.
This should be the sound guy's reflection, but he's wearing shorts and has something metal on his head. I think we're seeing a stand-in.
Together we can make something, dare I say it, bravura. Who knows what it could lead to?
Better really do $100 each.
What is it with you and money?
Saving up for a VX2000.
That's a Sony camcorder, of course, given who owns this show, and it's era appropriate.
Wells, Fellini, Bergman, the biggies. Tonight, we join them.
Jimmy's commercial will indeed echo the styles of these great directors and be heart-rending.
This is heart-rending stuff.
Josh's glasses really were broken, and they fixed them with gaff tape because they felt like he looked like the kind of guy that would get punched in the face.
The camera moves towards her.
Dolly. See a dolly here? You didn't ask for a dolly.
Gotta ask, dude. Dolly's extra.
We will improvise then.
I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. McGill.
In the original, the line is actually,
All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
but this is one of those Mandela effects where people typically quote it as, "I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille." Jimmy went to the Bryan Cranston School of Directing. Could Jimmy's choice of an Angela Lansbury-esque lead been intentional?
Wow, that was
Digging into Mike's
identical.
baseball game and bingo, I've gotten confirmation that they are indeed scripts. In this season, they are written by writer's assistant Ariel Levine, who would later become a writer for the show.
Pimento sandwich.
Mike's gun is his SIG service weapon that we saw in the 5-0 flashback. The train reflection in the shot was not planned. In fact, someone said, "Stop, there's a train in the shot," and the director and writer both yelled to keep going. The train is the New Mexico rail runner that we saw in 5-0 and is still an anachronism as service won't start for several years.
What happened? Are you all right?
Let me show you. It's right up there. You do see it, right?
I see it.
2:13 this morning. I looked at the clock. It was 3 of them. It was exactly like last time. Pop, pop, pop. Pop, pop, pop. Pop, 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 pop.
You think maybe it's possible that you dreamed it?
I didn't sleep a wink last night. That came from a bullet. I promise you that.
Okay.
I mean, I was here and you weren't.
You sure about that?
That's it. We're getting you and Kaylee out of this house. End of story.
End of story. End of story. End of story.
The intention here was that there was no bullet and she has something like PTSD. She's not being manipulative. The creators felt that if she wanted to move, she would just ask Mike, and she knows he would agree. But, as always, Vince likes leaving it open to interpretation.
You ever wonder about these things? Who was it who first said, "Hey, I know, big bowl of balls"?
They came with the place.
No shit. They're in every corporate apartment in the world.
You're one to talk, Kim. Walt's apartment in Breaking Bad had them too.
Don't be jealous of my big bowl of balls. It's unbecoming.
Why do they all have to have empty vases?
It's a metaphor.
You don't actually see the tape go into the VCR because it was broken, and that explains why you don't see any activity on the screen while the tape plays.
I gotta say, I will miss the nail salon's vibrating chairs.
For you, I can make any chair in this place vibrate. You ready for this? You're 86 years old. You're resident of Sandpiper, Colorado Springs.
Super long play mode is a slower recording speed that enables you to fit more on a VHS tape in exchange for a noticeable quality degradation. Vince thought this was a mistake because they wouldn't record the commercial at that speed, but it's fine. This is the VCR's mode for any new recordings, and any existing tapes will play at whatever speed they were recorded.
There's been another murder in Cabot Cove? No. The killer left behind a cryptogram and commercial.
My husband
Walk to this store real quick. Got the munchies? Do you think, Sean? I'm just munching some skits.
To an assisted living facility. A nice place.
Jimmy used Geraldine's chairlift for a dolly.
We will improvise then.
Although in real life they did not.
Then one day they said all my money was gone. How could that be? Where did it all go?
That's not a real tear, is it?
If you or a loved one is a resident of a Sandpiper Crossing facility, call the law offices of Davis and Maine at 505-242-7700. That's 505-242-7700.
You made that with some film students?
I directed.
It looks professional. I can't believe Davis and Maine went for it.
Well, I'm in charge of the department.
Yeah, but still, Cliff Maine was fine with this.
Why wouldn't he be?
No, it's It's fantastic.
I relate to Jimmy because this video's sponsor, NordVPN, also gave me a terrible, boring commercial.
If you or a family member have been hacked online or received a message that someone tried logging into your account, you may benefit.
Like it, why wouldn't they?
I logged into a public Wi-Fi at a bingo game run by a nice man from Cicero. Now my bank says all my money goes.
Or NordVPN, congratulations. Cliff.
Discord.
In the morning. It was kind of an
Nah, not tonight, bud.
Kind of under the radar. And in all fairness, you did tell me social media was my department. Yes, there's a very partners. TV stations don't broadcast VHS tape, so under it is a Betacam SP tape, which was the industry standard for most TV stations. Although the format was discontinued in 2001, it's believable that KKTV was still using it. Jimmy seems to suspect Cliff might not go for this ad.
Cliff Main was fine with this.
And he doesn't want to risk having his masterpiece go unseen. What does Cliff know about art and showmanship anyway? The scenery out of the windows is just a photo backdrop, although the plants are real. Once you know this, it is kind of hard to unsee.
I'd like the number for KKTV Channel 11.
KKTV Channel 11 is a real Colorado Springs station, although I don't know if they really aired Murder, She Wrote from 3 to 4 p.m. in 2002.
Gums look good. No recession. So lady's in fine fettle.
What do you got for me?
Bodyguard job. $200.
What else?
I know a loan shark always needs enforcement and recovery.
I'm not breaking legs.
My very own PI is threatening to break my legs.
He's still scared the dude's gonna come break his legs.
He said he was gonna break my legs.
You want next level pay? You gotta do next level work.
Give me the bodyguard job.
For 200? Call you with the wear and the wind.
So everybody knows
They know.
old people don't like talking to robots.
That's why they love him.
If I'm on a call and another call comes in, they'll roll over to Maida. After that, Iris will get the next one. And Julian, Barbara, and Yvonne, right on down the line.
Those first three characters are the actors' real names, and that's the third Julian in this episode. There's the Julian Productions reference and Julian the actor who plays the sound guy.
It should be running now, right?
Omar's screen is identical to the day before. Does he actually do any work?
Anything else?
Besides the one-off bolo tie, the costume designer is gradually making Jimmy's ties brighter as the season goes on.
Colorado Springs, come on.
I'm updating the way I count magic fingers. Before I was counting the flourish at the end as a distinct one, but I've realized this is part of the magic. Maida's screen is identical to Omar's.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, the ends justify the means as always, and Jimmy lives happily ever after.
Yeah.
Something came in this evening, and it's definitely next level pay.
What's the job?
I asked. The guy wouldn't tell me. He specifically asked for you.
And who's the guy?
What is this weird fascination you have with stories of men trapped on the North Pole?
Ice Station Zebra is on the North Pole. The thing takes place on the South Pole. They literally could not be any more different.
Now that gives a lot more depth to this detail from Breaking Bad.
Make it out to Ice Station Zebra Associates.
This could mean that this is a favorite memory of Jimmy's, and for some it could be the first moment where you start to wonder what happened to Kim by the time we get to the Breaking Bad era.
My dad loves this one.
Yeah, him and Howard Hughes.
Ice Station Zebra was the movie Howard Hughes famously watched over 150 times. He even bought the local CBS affiliate in Las Vegas so he could have them play the movie whenever he wanted, sometimes 2 times overnight.
It's the
What?
boss.
At this hour?
It's never too late for congratulations. Cliff!
You ran a commercial?
Yeah, and oh my God, let me tell you.
Did you actually think that was gonna fly?
I was planning on telling you in the morning.
The day after it aired?
It was kind of an experiment, all right? Kind of under the radar. And in all fairness, you did tell me client outreach was my department.
Client outreach is your department. I take it my firm's name is mentioned?
Yes.
Howard said you were a little eccentric. You didn't tell me you were a goddamn arsonist.
Jimmy's used to being his own boss and is always results-oriented, but this is a bad move when you're part of an organization. Besides, there could have been reasons for the boring ad that Jimmy doesn't understand.
There's a very positive headline here. We got 103 phone calls today. You can't.
Tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, my office. With the partners, and we want to see this thing.
Cliff, when you see this.
I knew it.
Yeah, Cliff. Thank you. Yeah, you too. Okay, see ya.
Golden boy.
That's me.
This is Jimmy's worst lie yet, as he knows Kim's job is on the line. Vince was worried that Jimmy went too far here, and they had an edit where he doesn't continue a fake conversation with Cliff, but felt it was too jarring of a transition. So they rationalized that Jimmy believes Kim never needs to know because he'll be able to fix it the next morning.
So what'd I miss? Anything blow up yet?
Just your career. Jimmy and Mike both fail to solve a problem in this episode. The writers felt angst about having Mike and Jimmy apart, similar to when Walt and Jesse were on separate paths in Breaking Bad. They'll be looking looking for ways to organically bring them back together. This is once again at the Albuquerque rail yards, very close to where Mike shot the cops in Philadelphia and where Walt ran over the bullet heads.
You gonna tell me what we're doing here?
I've got a problem.
Is it a who or a what?
There's a guy. I need him to go away.
Congratulations and thanks to the new
1-year members. A glass of OJ and Crafila. And thanks to the new 6-month members.
Big Body Bugatti, can you hear us? Big Body Bugatti, I see you're on mute, my friend. You're on with me and Stav. Big Body?
Eldest, if you're saying something, I can't hear you.
Big Body, can you hear us?
You can't hear us? God fucking damn it.
Dumbass.
I think you said, Eldest, if you're saying something, yeah, I can't hear you.
I know, but I'm saying, like, can he hear us? Can he?
Let's see.
Did you feed the mics through the fucking little thing?
Yeah. Hello? Big Body?
I can hear you now.
Oh, very good,
Let
Big Body.
me try to get you up a little. You're coming in a little fucking... Damn it.
I can put my mic closer to my face.
Yeah, let's do that.
Eat the mic, baby. What's up, Big Body?
How we doing, Stavi?
We're good, man. We're chilling here in an Airbnb, just, you know, talking to the people on our day off.
Oh, that's exhilarating. I saw you in Salt Lake a couple weeks ago. You were great.
Thank you, brother. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, I did the double header of Connor O'Malley and then you. Just really.
That's a fun... Dude, honestly, that was a fun... If you're a specific kind of comedy fan, that's a nice doubleheader for you. We were jealous we couldn't see Connor. He's the man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the most insane thing I've ever seen.
He's so fucking funny. We were hanging out on the bus beforehand.
I saw him during soundcheck. He's like asking questions about PowerPoint and shit.
Yeah.
So he's like, the projector going up there. Is
He's
awesome.
like playing gay porn and screaming. So he's
a lot of AI porn, a lot of unexpected dicks being seen. It was great.
I love that. Go see Connor O'Malley if he's coming to a city near you, folks. What's troubling you, Big Body?
Yeah, so I have an older brother who we've like never really gotten along. He was just kind of like the big antagonist of my entire life, and then I've kind of just like written him off as just like a moron. He's like really like manosphere. If he wasn't like charismatic, he'd be an incel.
Gotcha.
All of that bullshit.
That's tough.
And I've never really given it much thought, except he just got engaged, and I know he's about to have kids pretty soon.
Yeah.
And that's kind of been rubbing me the wrong way, in the sense of like this kid, like God forbid anything happens to him and his fiance, like that will be like my responsibility to like look out for them, and like I don't want them even outside of him. I don't want them to be like indoctrinated in his bullshit. So it's
typical
like,
liberal, making everything about themselves.
Using time of like figuring out how to handle it, because it kind of feels like my mom has like given up of trying to like stop him from being such like an asshole and a misogynist.
Right.
I don't want to listen to that. That guy's a fucking loser.
Hey, everyone. I'm Ashley Banfield. This is Drop Dead Serious. And if you thought that you knew everything about Brian Kohberger and the Idaho student murders,
Oh my god, it's a real team. Now is not the time for this.
Can you just TP back angle? Yeah, can you just take TP back?
I mean, maybe we could actually fight them.
I mean, they're just, yeah.
Oh, that guy's just on you. Is he on you? Like, on you?
Yeah, he's finishing me.
I'm taking my other TP panic.
Oh my god, it's a real team. Now is not the time for this.
Can you just
TP back angle?
Yeah, can you just take TP back?
I mean, maybe we could actually fight them.
I mean, they're just, yeah.
Oh, that guy's just on you. Is he on you? Like, on you?
Yeah, he's finishing me.
I'm taking my other TP panic.
Apex Season 25 tier list.
If you miss what happened in the NBA playoffs today, I got...